Right now, America is on fire with curiosity over a mysterious video said to be filmed at JFK Airport. In the footage, a woman calmly presents a passport from a country that doesn't exist, Torenza. She speaks fluently, acts composed, and leaves the immigration officer speechless. At first, people thought it was just another AI-generated prank. But the real shock came when airport security's own AI systems ran the footage and discovered that the data didn't match any known technology on Earth. The information was immediately suppressed without explanation. Now, the world is left with only one haunting question. Who is she? Could she have come from another world? And what truth is being buried behind this video? This shocking case has revived memories of an old, chilling story. 70 years ago, in 1954, at Haneda Airport in Tokyo, a man was detained after presenting a passport from Taured, a nation that appeared on no map, no diplomatic record, and no official archive. The passport looked authentic, complete with immigration stamps from several European countries. When questioned, the man confidently stated that Taured was located between France and Spain, right where Andorra is today. Japanese authorities were baffled. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs got involved. Linguists and cartographers were summoned. No one could explain what was happening. He was placed overnight in a locked hotel room near the airport, guarded by security outside. But by morning, he was gone. No trace, no exit. His luggage vanished along with him. The case stunned the scientific community at the time. Many researchers tried to find an explanation. French physicist Jacques Bergier, who once worked in the field of space-time research, proposed that the man might have come from a parallel reality. Some Japanese scholars, including Dr. Masuji Kitano, a former professor at the University of Tokyo, believed the incident was a space-time glitch caused by a shift in the Earth's magnetic poles. Newspapers briefly covered it, yet the mystery faded. Haneda Airport's official report simply labeled the case unverifiable. It was the 1950s, before the internet, before surveillance cameras, before digital storage. Everything relied on paper and human memory. So when the man from Taured vanished, there was no way to confirm what anyone had seen. All they could do was believe their eyes and face what they couldn't explain. What's truly terrifying is that every record of the incident later disappeared. The archived newspapers from 1954 in Tokyo's libraries are gone, as if someone gathered them all and erased the past. That's why the Taured case became known as the first locked mystery of the 20th century. Now, 70 years later, the Torenza woman has appeared, also departing from Tokyo, also carrying a passport from a country that doesn't exist. But this time, there's one key difference. AI is watching. When experts used artificial intelligence to analyze the footage, the AI uncovered a series of chilling parallels to the 1954 Man from Taured case. The same point of departure from Tokyo, the same geographic references, and the same kind of data that cannot be fabricated. But the real shock lay in the woman's passport. More than 10 entry stamps from different countries, including France, Poland, and Armenia, all printed with ink formulas and font types that have not been used for over 40 years. On the final page, the AI detected a strange emblem resembling the IATA logo from the 1960s, inscribed in characters belonging to no known language. Her luggage tag carried a flight code that only existed in Tokyo in 1954. Then came another disturbing detail. When the AI compared her voice, it found a faint background exchange at the end of the clip, almost drowned out by noise. A male voice in Japanese whispered, "We've met it again." No one knows who or what it refers to, but the sound pattern matched a voice sample archived from the original taured incident, still preserved in Japan's Ministry of Internal Affairs data vault. When all these fragments were pieced together, they formed a chain of evidence that sent chills through the research community. The Torenza case might not be a coincidence at all, but the continuation of a phenomenon repeating itself throughout human history. It doesn't end there. Several research groups from the University of Tokyo, Kyoto University, and Cambridge, the very same institutions that investigated the taured mystery 70 years ago, are now believed to have reopened the old case files. They believe that artificial intelligence may finally be the first tool capable of unlocking a phenomenon that previous generations could never explain. Their mission is to discover whether these so-called people from non-existent nations are frauds, psychological anomalies, or signs of a small fracture in the very fabric of our reality itself. When AI scanned deeper, it uncovered something that left everyone frozen in disbelief. The audio signal in the Torenza video matched almost perfectly with one recorded at Tokyo Airport in 1954, the exact day of the Man from Taured incident. Both emitted the same outdated radio frequency once used by the Japanese military during the Cold War, a signal that has been inactive for decades. Experts confirmed that such a coincidence is statistically impossible. It was as if the two events, separated by 70 years, were connected by a single transmission coming from a place no one has ever found. And this time, it was AI, not human eyes, that detected it first. After this revelation, the world divided into two camps. One group claimed it was nothing more than an elaborate hoax, while the other believed the Torenza case might be humanity's first real clue to something far beyond our imagination. Scientists, physicists, and even those who once studied the original taured case returned to their laboratories, all asking the same haunting question. If this evidence is real, then who is the Torenza woman? And where did she come from? From that moment on, a flood of theories began to emerge, each revealing a possibility more terrifying than the last, challenging not only science, but the very limits of human belief. The first hypothesis, and the one most people believe, suggests that Torenza may have once been a real country, deliberately erased from the world map. When the research team used AI to rescan old Soviet-era maps, they discovered something strange. On a 1956 map of the Caucasus region, there appeared a faint glowing patch, almost like a small territory that once existed there. But by the 1960s, the entire area had vanished completely from all later versions of the map. Place names, population data, even the rivers and roads surrounding it had been altered, as if someone had intentionally wiped every trace of that land away. AI then found something even more unsettling. In the archives of old Soviet radio transmissions, it detected a mysterious signal that had been broadcast from that exact location in the late 1950s. Its frequency matched almost perfectly with the signal captured in the Torenza woman video. This was no civilian signal. It was a form of encrypted radio wave once used for top-secret military communications during the Cold War. Some historians now believe Torenza might once have been a military testing site where the Soviet Union conducted experiments with advanced technology or unknown forms of energy, then erased all evidence after the project ended. Others suggest it could have been a small autonomous region that was absorbed and then deleted from history for political reasons. But the most chilling detail is this. The exact year that region disappeared from Soviet maps coincides with the year of the Man from Taured incident in Tokyo. Two events, half a world apart, yet both share the same signs. A nation that doesn't exist, a person appearing from nowhere, and a series of unexplained signals. In a closed scientific meeting, one researcher said quietly, If Torenza really existed, maybe it wasn't destroyed. Maybe it was hidden. Perhaps it's still out there. We're just not allowed to see it. It's like deleting an old photo from your phone. It disappears from view, but fragments remain in the device's memory. The Soviet maps seem to behave the same way. The name Torenza may have vanished, but traces of it still lie buried in the data. AI simply restored the forgotten file. That theory sent chills down many spines. Because if an entire land can be erased from every map, then who has the power to do such a thing? And more importantly, what are they trying to hide inside Torenza? Next comes the second hypothesis, the one most talked about on social media, and the one that has divided the scientific community, suggesting that the Torenza woman may have come from a parallel dimension. Supporters of this theory argue that her behavior, tone, and reactions in the video are nothing like those of a fraud or imposter. She answered every question from immigration officers calmly and confidently, even pointing to Torenza's location on the map with surprising precision. What left viewers puzzled was her description of her country having a southern coast bordering Georgia, a geographic detail that doesn't match any known place on Earth. Several witnesses claimed her voice had a strange tone, a blend of Russian, Armenian, and a language no one had ever heard before. Linguistic experts who analyzed the audio reported that she pronounced many familiar words with grammatically correct structures, but from a completely different cultural framework. In other words, she spoke English as someone who had learned it, but in a world where everything was slightly different. After the video spread, many online users insisted they had seen references to Torenza in old leaked documents or maps. A Russian forum even shared an image allegedly showing a Soviet-era map with an area marked Torenza. Though unverified, the coincidence made the entire story even more suspicious. Even more intriguing was the passenger data from the Tokyo-New York flight. According to airline records, no passenger matching her appearance existed. No name, no passport number, no seat assignment. She appeared in the video, but did not exist in any official record. From this, theoretical physicists proposed a chilling possibility. Perhaps she never flew from Tokyo at all. Instead, she might have slipped into our world through a convergence point between two realities. They call this phenomenon a time fracture, a rift where space overlaps, allowing an individual to move accidentally from one dimension to another. This phenomenon reminded many people of a controversial case in Europe, the story of the Madrid woman from the early 1990s. One morning, she woke up to find her entire life had changed. Her husband had become a complete stranger. Her friends no longer recognized her, and every record of her marriage, employment, and medical history had vanished. Doctors at the time diagnosed it as a reality phase shift, while physicists believed she had somehow slipped out of her own world. The incident was soon forgotten until the Torenza woman video emerged, carrying the same eerily familiar details. If this theory is true, then the Torenza woman is neither a hoax nor a digital illusion. She could be a traveler who accidentally crossed into the wrong version of Earth, carrying a passport from a place that, for us, exists only in myth. And the most unsettling thought of all, no one knows whether she's still here or if she has already slipped back into her world, where Torenza still exists as if it never vanished at all. The third hypothesis suggests that the Torenza woman may have been secretly detained after leaving the immigration counter, and from that moment on, no one ever saw her again. No one knows what truly happened after the video ended. She might have been taken for identity verification, as is standard in unusual immigration cases. But what troubles many is that after that day, all related information stopped. No reports, no confirmations, no official statements. All that remains is a short video, one that spread across the world and ignited a storm of speculation. Some researchers believe the incident was deliberately kept secret, just as governments have done in the past when faced with unexplainable events. They recall the man from Taured case in 1954, the man who was also taken into a closed interrogation room and vanished without a trace. No announcements were ever made, and that silence became part of the mystery itself. Throughout history, such cases have not been rare. Some travelers suspected of carrying strange documents or coming from unidentified regions were often isolated in internal inspection zones, places where information never reached the public. Old Cold War records from the United Kingdom, the United States, and the Soviet Union documented individuals described as misrouted passengers, mismatched nationalities, or speakers of unknown languages. And like a repeating pattern, all of them disappeared from the media within days. Yet the Torenza woman case is different, not only because it happened in the age of technology, but because this time, AI saw what humans could not. While news outlets remained silent, an independent group of data analysts extracted the original footage and discovered a hidden layer of data, faint light and sound signals invisible to normal software. When processed through quantum AI models, those signals began to form map-like fragments, a chain of coordinates stretching between Tokyo and New York, right in the middle of the ocean. No one knew what it meant, but AI found that this exact location had once been a secret signal receiving station for an interdimensional research program jointly conducted by Japan and the Soviet Union in the late 1950s. According to several leaked documents, experiments were carried out there involving matter displacement through atmospheric layers. A scientist from Kyoto's Institute of Science stated, "Without AI, humans would never have seen these layers of data. They exist beyond what the human eye can perceive." That remark left the scientific community in stunned silence, because it implied that AI was no longer just a tool, but the only witness to the truth. Investigators then used AI to scan security data from major airports, London, Dubai, Singapore, and uncovered something terrifying. In several random frames, the AI detected the same coded sequence appearing in the corner of the footage, identical to the one found in the Torenza video. The sequence contained just 8 characters, TZN 1954. No one knows what TZN stands for, but the number 1954, the year of the taured incident, made everyone stop and think. Some believe it's a message sent across time. Others suspect it's the trace of a secret experiment buried for decades. Among scientists, there is only one point of agreement. AI has reached a layer of information humanity has never explored, and perhaps was never meant to. A series of theories have now emerged following the Torenza woman incident. That she came from a country deliberately erased from the map. That she accidentally crossed into our world through a spatial rift. Or that she was detained after questioning and disappeared without a trace. Each theory holds a certain logic, but what confuses the public most is that no official explanation has ever been released. The previous generation once heard the story of the man from Taured in 1954 and dismissed it as legend, because at that time, there was no proof, no technology to verify it. But now, as AI analyzes every frame, reconstructs data, and uncovers chilling similarities between the two events, the question is no longer about belief. It's about what these findings truly mean. If both individuals came from Tokyo, both carrying passports from nations that don't exist. Could this really be coincidence? If the frequencies detected by AI truly match the 1954 signals, then who or what sent them? And the biggest question of all, if the Torenza case is real, how many people from elsewhere have already crossed our borders without us ever realizing it? If these are not coincidences, but signs of a recurring loop unfolding in our world, then none of us can truly know where we stand within that cycle. And perhaps the government, the scientific community, or even the very technology we trust, have all been hiding something deep within data vaults that no one else can access. So after all these AI revelations and mind-bending theories, what do you think? Do you believe the Torenza woman was just a cleverly staged fabrication? Or could it be that behind her story lies a secret the powerful have always tried to conceal from us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next video as we continue unraveling the mysteries that science still dares not explain.